We at Ross were working on a vaccine for malaria, but now we plan to go into a somewhat different area. We at Ross were working on a vaccine for malaria, but now we plan to go into a somewhat different area. A COVID vaccine that will use Goradcam for the carrier. If it works, I might become a multi-billionaire. We at Ross were working on a vaccine for malaria, but now we plan to go into a somewhat different area. A COVID vaccine that will use Goradcam for the carrier. If it works, I might become a multi-billionaire. Yeah, sometimes the rhyming in my dreams kind of sucks. Then Cesar Milstein, on behalf of VectorVir, replied, "Your license gives you rights for just malarial diseases. Your broad reading of your license stinks like old smelly cheeses. The COVID project you describe really does not please us. If you persist, we'll come and kick your butt until it freezes." Kick your butt until it freezes? I mean, what does that even mean? Come on, it's a dream. It doesn't always make sense. And then, suddenly, Paul Metchnikow, the chief operating officer of Claimant, Zoom bombs into the meeting, and he says, "In my opinion, the claim we faced from Ross that's based on intellectual property puts Cambier in breach even if Ross's claim is just a pile of crockery, because the slightest doubt about our rights makes all our work a mockery. You can't deny my logic is fly. It's very Mr. Spockery." You know Mr. Spock, the logical guy on Star Trek? Okay. And then something very bizarre happens in my dream. The now 3 participants in this online meeting, each simultaneously but independently, realize that despite their differences, despite their disputes, they all have something in common. So they join together in magnificent 3-part harmony, which you will have to imagine and they sing. We all gotta have lawyers, lots and lots of lawyers, attorneys by the score, marching through the door into our foyers. Law firms will rejoice, send out many a large invoice. And at that moment, Caesar Milstein stops singing and he interrupts. And he says, wait a minute. Before we all get involved in some big, complicated legal dispute, one that will require each of us to surround ourselves with a bunch of lawyers, perhaps we should reflect on what they say occurred in the United States. In the U.S., they say, California got all the attorneys, while New Jersey got toxic waste dumps infested with giant infectious fleas, because New Jersey had first choice.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Christopher Key, and I'd like to welcome you on behalf of my co-directors to the awards ceremony for the 28th Willem C. VIS International Commercial Arbitration Moot. I want to begin by congratulating everyone. This has been a fantastic event that has truly spanned the globe. And I mean that in both space and time, as for me and a number of our teams, it is already Friday. It hasn't been easy, and we know that there have been a variety of challenges that people have faced, but everyone came together and worked in a truly cooperative spirit to overcome those challenges. One thing we know is that whether it's in person or online, the VIS Moot Week is a frenetic one for everyone. As a rough estimation, just since Friday, we've sent over 19,000 emails. Officially, we had 382 teams participate in the oral hearings. But as many of you know, that isn't quite right. We had to create an extra 9 substitute teams because 5 teams dropped out. We needed the 9 to avoid disrupting the scheduling system. But real people had to man those teams or participate for those teams. And a big thank you goes out to all the teams who acted as substitutes. And we weren't necessarily able to always furnish a team. And so for those of you who argued ex parte, thank you to you too. Over the first 4 days of the competition, we held about 780 hearings, give or take. So that's just shy of 200 hearings each day. Now, as you might imagine, 200 hearings each day is not your normal everyday run-of-the-mill operation for an arbitration provider. But the IDRC took it in their stride. On behalf of everyone involved in the moot, I want to give thanks to Damien Hickman, to Jesse Liu, and the team of people at the IDRC who've been working so diligently and so effectively in helping us hold this event. As directors, we are really very pleased with how everything ran. And the fact that we could do it in such a smooth way is in no small part thanks to the work of the IDRC. If you haven't seen them, Damien has posted some photos of the IDRC team and the room they were working in on LinkedIn. So I'd suggest you search for him there and you'll see the photos. There's one group of the administration team that we would like to draw special attention to and give special thanks to, and that's the scoring team. As you can imagine, even in a pre-COVID year, the scoring team's work is a challenging and difficult one, but moving online has actually made that harder. But for our diligent team, they had to track down and process about 2,340 score sheets. But if you think about it, that involves entering 9,360 odd scores or thereabouts. Now, before we get underway, I have to make the same observation I did last year, and it's an observation that I think many of you will already be able to appreciate. Each of us speaking tonight is located in a different country, and we can't always see what you'll be seeing, for example, when the video starts. So please forgive us for any moments of confusion or pauses, but we will plunder through and we'll do our best. Now, with that, let's get our award ceremony underway. And this year, I get the great privilege of introducing the Eric E. Bergston Award. Now, everyone met Eric in the opening ceremony, and in the opening ceremony, I also set out a few words as to why he is so important, not just to the Moot, but to so many people personally. But I think it bears saying again, Professor Bergston is the reason we have the Moot. He created it, and in doing so, he has had a profound effect on international arbitration. Some of you will be familiar with Jan Paulsen. Jan Paulsen's a very famous and significant international arbitrator. And as far back as 2013, Jan described the Moot as a sociological phenomenon. So Eric is responsible for a phenomenon. All the teams who reached the 64 receive honourable mentions for this award. During the general rounds, we tried to schedule hearings at reasonable hours for each team. But with the final rounds, that really wasn't possible. So many of the teams who argued throughout the final rounds really were arguing at all hours of the night. Congratulations to all of you. Now, we've just seen or recently concluded the grand final. And there we had a very distinguished panel. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce them to you again. Although they don't really need any introduction, I will take the opportunity to do so. Sitting as one of the co-arbitrators today, we had Anne Ryan Robertson. Anne Ryan Robertson is the Global President of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. She holds a JD and an LLM in International Economic Law from the University of Houston Law Center. Anne is an international partner in Locke Lord's LLP Houston office, and she acts as counsel and arbitrator in a wide variety of complex business disputes across various industries. Ms. Ryan Robertson is a long-time supporter of the Moot and has arbitrated and coached in the competition over a number of years. Sitting as the other co-arbitrator was Professor Laura da Gama. Laura da Gama is an adjunct professor at the Pontifical Catholic University of Rio de Janeiro, where he currently teaches private international law and international commercial arbitration. He's a member of the CISG Advisory Council, where he acted as rapporteur for the CISG Advisory Opinion number 17 on limitation and exclusion clauses. Professor da Gama has served as the president of the Brazilian Arbitration Committee from 2013 to 2015, and he currently represents Brazil as a member of the ICC Court of International Arbitration. The chairwoman of our hearing this afternoon was Gabriela Natabas. Gabriela Natabas is a partner at Homburger in Zurich. With over 20 years of experience, she's acted as party counsel and arbitrator in numerous international commercial arbitration proceedings, both ad hoc and institutional. She also regularly represents clients in investment treaty arbitrations and complex cross-border litigations. Ms. Natabas served as president of the Arbitration Court of the Swiss Chambers Arbitration Institution from 2016 through to 2020. She's a board member of the Swiss Arbitration Association, ARSA, a member of the LCIA Court, and a co-chair of the ICA ASIL Task Force on Damages in International Arbitration. It's my great pleasure now to hand over to Ms. Natabas. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris, for these introductions. And let me start by congratulating and joining this congratulations. I think you have done all a fantastic job, starting with the organizers, but of course, all the universities and teams that have participated. I can only say, and I hope I speak on behalf of my co-arbitrators, that we have been truly honored to be chosen as the tribunal for the finals. It has been a great pleasure. And I have to admit that I was slightly embarrassed because my recollection of my advocacy skills when I was a student let me understand that I would have terribly failed having to compete against any of the councils who has participated in these finals. So it's truly that we have been deeply impressed how well each of the councils representing claimant or respondent has been prepared, how well they have reacted and taken up all our questions. They have been patient with us by interrupting them constantly. They have never lost the trail, found their arguments back in no time, has shown flexibility to our challenging schedule we have imposed on them, going backward and forward between procedural and merit arguments. And I can overall only say you made our life tremendously wonderful, because we have been truly impressed to see such young, skilled advocates, I have to say, but also terribly difficult. And without taking, of course, the decision in advance away, I would like to hand over to my co-arbitrator, Lauro, for adding and complementing the teams that have participated in the finals.
Thank you very much, Gabriele. I think that you have said it all. But first of all, I would like to wholeheartedly congratulate both teams. You have done a fantastic job. You should be proud of yourselves. You have different styles, but each team was impeccable in developing their arguments, listening and responding to the arbitral tribunal's questions, and affirming their respective positions. The four of you are a great example of fine advocacy, not only to other law students, but also to seasoned lawyers. I would like to thank you very much for the opportunity to hear each and every one of you today. And now my esteemed colleague, Anne Robertson, will announce the prevailing team. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to echo what my two co-arbitrators have said regarding what a wonderful, wonderful final round this was. Chris had mentioned that I've been a coach of a team. What he didn't tell you was I was a coach for 18 years. So I have seen many final rounds, and this is among one of the best that I personally have ever seen. I also know personally how very hard everyone who participates in the moot has worked to get to this point. So I congratulate everyone who participated in the moot, and a special congratulations to the two teams that we saw today. It was a very difficult decision for us, and by the narrowest of margins, the prevailing university and the recipient of the 2021 Eric E. Bergston Award for Best Team Orals is Bucyrus Law School. And I mispronounced that after practicing it many times.
Thank you very much, panel. And could I invite everyone, wherever you are in the world, to also give a round of applause to Singapore Management University for their performance this afternoon and today as well.
Congratulations to the Bucerius team. We will move on now with the next announcement, and this is the Peter Sanders Award for the Best Written Memorandum for Claimant. The award is named after Peter Sanders, Professor Peter Sanders, who was one of the principal drafters of both the UN Convention on Recognition and Enforcement of Foreign Arbitral Awards and the 1976 Ancestral Arbitration Rules. Besides his impressive career, he was co-founder of ICA, as well as the Netherlands Arbitration Institute. He died in 2012. Professor Sanders knew the VIS MOOT personally. He attended the final panel in the second VIS MOOT in 1995. Let me shortly explain to you how we assess the memoranda. Each team submits a claimant memorandum. This year we received 387 memoranda. Each memorandum gets distributed at least 5 times in different grouping of 4 each time. First round memoranda arbitrators are then asked to rank the 4 memoranda that they have received. We collate those rankings and distribute them approximately the top 20% into the second round. There were 22 arbitrators, and I hope I get the numbers right now, who each received 15 memoranda to rank in the second round. The ranking, both first and second round, is a huge task. So we are very, very grateful to the arbitrators who participated in that process. I will hand over now to Stefan, who will make the announcement for the Peter Sanders Award in the 28th VIS MOOT.
Thank you, Patricia. And let me take the opportunity to say also something on the Peter Sanders Award. When I receive your questions, I'm always quite puzzled of what questions I receive. Then when I prepare the arbitrators memorandum or the draft for the arbitrators, I usually select 20 teams just by random. And there's some usual suspects which I look at, and I'm always impressed by some of the memoranda when you look first at the question and then the development you have made in writing that memorandum. So now let me come to the honorable mention in alphabetical order. Columbia University, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia National Law University, Humboldt University, Lomonosov Moscow State University, National Law University Odisha, Singapore Management University, Sofia University St. Clement Oritsky, the University of Queensland, University of Amsterdam, University of Basel, University of Cologne, University of Hamburg, University of Lucerne, University of St. Gallen, University of Sydney, University of the State of Rio de Janeiro, University of Vienna, University of Zagreb, University of Zurich. Congratulations to all of you, incredible performance, and you will see that the status you have reached in drafting this memoranda is very often much higher in what you get in real arbitration as submissions. But let me now come to the runner-ups. The second runner-up is the University of Turku. Let me repeat that, probably the pronouncing was bad. University of Turku. The first runner-up is the University of Bern. And the prevailing team in the Peter Sanders Award for the best memorandum for claimant is Aarhus University. Congratulations to those teams, and in particular to Aarhus University. And back to Patricia.
Thank you, Stefan. I'm not sure if I'm as fast as the announcement results that we see now on the screen, or that you see on the screen. We don't. So we will move on now with the next announcement. This is one that I really like a lot. It's the Werner Melis Award for the best written memorandum for respondent. Why do I like it so much? Because I know Werner Melis personally quite well. And before the pandemic started, we used to meet every 2 to 3 months for lunch. And he always tells me then his war stories from arbitration cases that occurred 40 years ago. But I enjoy that a lot, and I hope I can soon meet with him again. He usually or traditionally presents in Vienna his award by himself, and usually he starts the presentation of the award when he gets at stage with the sentence, "I'm still alive." And I'm glad to say he is a living legend. He was very important to the mood, probably the first supporter in Vienna. He immediately made space available for arguments at the Vienna International Arbitral Center, whose president he was at the time, or general secretary he was at the time. Then he became its president and now is its honorable president. He also introduced the VIS to the University of Vienna. We are very grateful for this relationship. When we grew, we had also to extend the space for our requirements and are now in a very good relationship with the University of Vienna, thanks to Werner Melis. The memoranda are evaluated in the same manner as for the claimant memoranda. So this year we had 387 respondent memoranda submitted, each distributed at least 5 times in different grouping of 4 each time. Rankings collated and approximately the top 20% passed through into the second round. 27 second round arbitrators who each received 15 memoranda. Again, a big thank you to those arbitrators who have participated and ranked the memoranda. Chris will make now the announcement for the Werner Melis Award for Best Written Memorandum for Respondent in the 28th VIS MOOT.
Thank you, Patricia. So I'll read, like Stefan did, I will read the honourable mentions in alphabetical order. City University of Hong Kong, Humboldt University, Lomonosov Moscow State University, Loyola University, Chicago, Saarland University, Singapore Management University, University College London, University of Basel, University of Bonn, University of Freiburg, Germany, University of Hamburg, University of Heidelberg, University of Stockholm, University of Sydney, University of Vienna, and Wuhan University. They are the honourable mentions. We come now to the joint second runner-up. And this was shared between the University of Münster and WU Vienna. Congratulations. The runner-up was the University of Queensland. And the prevailing team in the Werner Melis Award for Best Memorandum for Respondent is the University of Zurich. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the teams. We are moving on to the Martin Domke Award for Best Individual Oralist. This award was named after a former adjunct professor of law at New York University, a well-known scholar of international arbitration. Professor Domke was vice president of the American Arbitration Association for 25 years, served as editor-in-chief of the then Arbitration Journal, now the Dispute Resolution Journal, and authored important publications in the field of international commercial arbitration. To be eligible for the Martin Domke Award, students have to moot in the general rounds at least once for the claimant and once for the respondent. The award will be won by the individual advocate with the highest average score during these rounds. And Stefan has now not an easy task, this announcement, but I hand over to you to make the announcement for the Martin Domke Award for the best individual oralist in the 28th VIS MOOT.
Thanks, Patricia. And let me start with an apology. If I mispronounce your name, I tried my best. But to make it easier for you, I will start with the university you're at. And even if you don't get it from that one, because it's so badly pronounced, we will publish it as well. So let me start with the honorable mentions. We have from Aarhus University, Anders Borg Petersen and Frederick Overgaard Hansen. From Australian Catholic University, Joshua Crawley. From BBP Law School, William Alexander Smith Burnett. From Brooklyn Law School, Ashlyn Schilling, Elise Lindenmeyer, Carrie Hartman, and Rene Mattiocci. Probably the last one was wrong. Then from Case Western Reserve University, Callan Foran. From the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Tsi Ho Ching Natalie. City University of Hong Kong, Joyce Chong. Columbia University, Keith Geddings II. Eberhard Karls University Tübingen, Philipp Hayek Gross. Fordham University, Chris Hodge and Rebecca Spendley. Galatasaray University, Aaron Bespina. Harvard University, Anissa Bedea and Sylvie Cheng. Honorable Society of Gray's Inn, Alice Thorne, Matthew Ince. Istanbul University, Batuhan Moose and Emre Can Thompson. Jagiellonian University, Susanna Filipek. King's College London, Yasmin Rahel Vachi. Kutafi Moscow State Law University, Alexander Sobko. Kiev National Taras Shevchenko University, Tetiana Zukovska. Luigi Bocconi University, Claudia Romeo. Mackenzie Presbyterian University, Enrico Magalas Caparica. MGMIO University, Camelia Saripova. Monash University, Felicia Leon. National Law School of India, Hardik Malik. National Law University Delhi, Rohit Raj and Sarashika Ekambaram. National Research University Higher School of Economics Moscow, Sabina Nurbagadonova. National University of Singapore, Sarah Liu. Pontifical Catholic University of Rio de Janeiro, Lucas Mayon. Pontifical Catholic University of Sao Paulo, Stephanie Shu Thompson. Radboud University Nijmegen, Gaia Laurentia Zizi. From Singapore Management University, Li Zhizheng and Lo Jian Na. Stetson University, Audrey Gangloff. Strathmore University, Fanon Estefanos, Irene Grace Kabura Muhuro and Winfried Nakatsi Kibero. Universidad de Lisboa, Rita Albuquerque Goncalves Mendoza Santos. University College London, Natasha Hopewell and Thomas Rawlins. University of Auckland, Susan McCluskey. University of Belgrade, Nina Haslianianin. University of Bern, Elena Siconfalina and Oliver F. Stressler. University of Buenos Aires, Bruno Lionel Bettini. University of Cambridge, Rachel Lamb. University of Frankfurt am Main, Mark Basker, Victoria Helena Dintelmann. University of Freiburg, Rory Price, Tosca Schwen. University of Geneva, Zeneta Rustic. University of Glasgow, Mary Asubuik. University of Göttingen, Michelle Sitlock and Tilman Wiedenroth. University of Heidelberg, Vincent Hoppmann. University of Indonesia, Gracella Marin. University of Jena, Karim Ali. University of Leipzig, Jakob Sebastian Hoffmann and Lukas Schiele. University of Maastricht, Marc Paliso Balagna. University of Mainz, Ivan Rush. University of Münster, Christopher Kunzmann and Lukas Schitala. University of Ottawa, Ryan Pistorius. University of Padua, Marta Alerich. University of San Diego, Tanya Gabet. University of Sydney, Edward Wu and Sam Goldberg. University of Vienna, Emily Madel and Gabriel Wunderlich. University of Washington, Stasia Sklabania. Wirtschaftsuniversity Vienna, Benedikt Meyer and Tim Kirschmeier. Congratulations to all of those who received an honorable mention. Now we have the third runner-up, and that is Efat Al-Sherif from McGill University. Then we have a two-way tie for the first runner-up. We have Madeleine Bosler, University of Sydney, and Jonas Klein, Bucerius Law School. And the winner of the Martin Donkey Award for individualist in the 28th William C. VIS International Commercial Arbitration Moot is Francis Lake from BBP Law School. Congratulations to all of you. I hope you had time to read now through the slides and to find your name on that one. I have now the great pleasure of introducing the Michael L. Scheer Award for the Spirit of the Moot. You have heard in the opening ceremony from Chris that Michael Scheer was the American lawyer who at an UNCITRAL meeting suggested to promote the instruments of UNCITRAL by a moot, which was then the idea picked up and developed by Eric Bergstein, which is the reason why we're all here. But Michael not only came up with the idea, but also left his legacy to the moot to allow us to spend money on trying to find an appropriate background machinery which allows us to send out all these emails, schedule all the other things. So we have asked you to send in some comments on who should get the Michael S. Scheer Award, Spirit of the Moot. And we also had a number of ideas ourselves. So for example, you heard already from Chris, there were a number of teams volunteering, jumping in at last moment. And in particular, the teams from Aix-Marseille and the University of Cyril and Methodius just helped us out early in the morning when they got a phone call at 8:20, whether they could provide a speaker at 8:30. That would have been something which is definitely in favor, or something which the Spirit of the Moot makes. We also have a number of arbitrators, experienced arbitrators, who showed up in the Slack line at times which were just unbelievable, that some of us had the idea they may have a bet to be there for every hearing available, helping us out. So I could mention a number of them, but the ones I've realized on the Slack line all the time, Robert Chimio or Martin Beckmann. And there was also someone who basically breached our rules because we asked him to do so, that his team is not leaving the competition, but he's continuing that. Normally, you're not allowed to plead orally the merits and procedure. But since his co-counsel basically got sick, he was willing to do it all by himself. So arguing several times, 4 times actually, merits and procedure. But They were also, and that is why we in the end awarded the Michael L. Shea Award to a team from Africa. There were a number of African teams which participated, and a lot of them were struggling with incredible problems, no support, but we were extremely happy to see that 2 of the teams made it to the round of 64. So there would have been a number of teams from Africa where we would have said they deserve the Michael Shea Award, and they were suggested to us. But the majority of suggestion came for a team which participated for the first time, and that is the Eduardo Mondlane University in Mozambique. And the Michael Shea Award goes to that university. First of all, primarily to the students, but also because we think the idea behind that they are supported by other people from the outside and also supported by institutional money is something which we would like to encourage. So we would like to encourage people helping other teams from wherever they are, which have problems in coming to the moot and preparing. And that was also an element which played a role in awarding that, in addition to that being the team which has been suggested the most frequently to us. So I hope that the students will come back next year as students again, coaches, or in any other function, and help the other teams coming from their university. Congratulations to all of you. And now I have the great pleasure introducing the Moot Alumni Association. Probably many of you have attended events of the Moot Alumni Association in preparing the memoranda, in preparing for the orals, or during the week here. The Moot Alumni Association is a very important part of the Moot. They are the ones who get emails from us in the middle of the night with just the word, "We need arbitrators." And they always provide the support. But their primary purpose is to make the network you will later on use in your career and to connect you and the teams. So now I hand over to Shirley Tung, which will speak on behalf of the Moot Alumni Association.
Hello, and welcome to the end of a wonderful VIS MOOT virtual week. We hope that everyone has had a brilliant and wonderful time. It's come to that part of the week where we have to say goodbye to one another, and you've seen me many, many times, whether it's already in the VIS East or now in the VIS Vienna. But just in case you haven't remembered, my name is Shirley Tung, President of the Moot Alumni Association. What we thought we would do in this little closing is basically tell you more about us individuals, why the Moot means so much to us, and why you should join the MAA. So I competed in the 2009 VIS Moot competition. If you ask me to tell you what number it is, I can't remember, but that means that was about 12 years ago. And it was during that time in the Moot that I actually embarked on this journey in a professional career in arbitration. It was also through the VIS Moot that I met people that are the most close to me in my life today. I've met friends that I consider family, and also my husband, who will kill me for saying this online. Nevertheless, these friends are forever cherished, and I will have them in my life for the rest of my life. They flew halfway around the world to my wedding, and I will fly halfway around the world to their multiple weddings. And I know that I could always depend on them, irrespective of where we are in this world. So that is why the Moot is so important to me. I also managed to get my career out of this Moot court competition. It was with that, if it wasn't for the VIS Moot, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be in the field of international arbitration. And I wouldn't be speaking before you as president of the Moot Alumni Association, which is a big part of my life. So without boring you anymore, I'm going to turn to my wonderful colleagues on the first ever female Moot Alumni Association Executive Board, where they're going to give you a little bit of their backgrounds and why they joined the Moot Alumni Association. I'm going to start with Isabella de Vesa.
Hello, everyone. It's very unfortunate that we are not able to all be together again, but I hope that you're all safe and sound, you and your loved ones, wherever you are, in the world. And it will be, I hope you can feel the warmth coming from us towards you whilst we have to do it virtually. So as Sherlyn already introduced me, my name is Isabella de Veze, and I'm one of the vice presidents of the Moot Alumni Association. I competed in 2012 in Vienna and 2013 in Hong Kong. So I started this journey in 2011, when halfway through law school, I actually thought law was the most boring thing one could possibly choose to do with their life, until I came across my professor Claudio Finkelstein's Moot team. And that made sure that not only I finished law school, but I absolutely loved it whilst I was at it. What does the Moot mean to me? Well, I made it clear that if it wasn't for the Moot, I definitely wouldn't have finished law school, and I would probably be a doctor, actually, which, come to think about it, is not that bad an idea. But what the Moot did bring me that probably med school wouldn't have is the friends that, as Sherlyn just mentioned before, I now call my family as well. I moved from Brazil to Australia 8 years ago, and the connections that I made through the MAA are still here today. My best friends, you have two of them in this call as well. So I can't speak highly enough about how the MAA and the Moot generally allowed me to meet so many different people from all over the world with different experiences, different everything. That makes us such a diverse and united family. That is to say, on the personal side, but obviously professionally, my first jobs in Brazil were the ones that in arbitration were due to the pre-moots that we had back home, where arbitrators would sit in and just watch us showcase so much effort that we had put for so many months, so many sleepless nights, to make sure that we could not only defend our university names, but obviously just show them how hard we had worked. So I can't possibly stress enough how important that was from a career perspective. I will pass the word now to Sabine Neuhaus, who is the other vice president of the MAA.
Thank you very much, Isabella and Sherlyn. So a warm welcome from my side. I'm Sabine Neuhaus. I am a Swiss qualified lawyer currently based in Shanghai, and I competed in the Moot in 2013-14 for the University of Zurich, and it was a life-changing experience. Not only that we were able to travel to Hong Kong and to Vienna and spend an amazing week with people from all over the world, but it was also the end of a journey that let me grow in so many different ways. I also met my closest friends still today that are in the Moot. So that is Sherlyn, based in Hong Kong, Isabella, based in Australia. And it's really unfortunate that we don't get the chance to meet each other in Hong Kong and in Vienna. This was always the highlight of the year. But luckily, we still have memories that we share and we will treasure forever. One of them has already been mentioned by Sherlyn, that we all flew to Vienna for a crazy wedding weekend, which was incredible. And so the MAA has really allowed me to stay in touch with all these incredible individuals who made me work harder, who opened me so many doors in the international arbitration world. And the MAA is really a platform where all of you could possibly have the opportunity to grow, to exercise or to practice how you present yourself to the world through our conferences, through our core team that is doing an incredible job of putting events together to enlarge the mooting community. So I'm really grateful to the MAA and the Moot in general for all the opportunities that it's brought to me. And we are really looking forward to meeting many of you as future MAA members. And with that, I give back to Sherlyn.
So it's three of us wonderful ladies that you have on your screen today, but we've got a fourth amazing lady who is the fourth member of the executive board. But due to this wonderful new norm that we like to thank the COVID pandemic, it was extremely difficult and pretty much impossible for us to schedule a four-way video with all four of us, because Wendy Gonzalez, the secretary to our board, is based in the Netherlands. Now, I know you're thinking in your heads that it's only 7 hours or 6 hours now difference. But as I'm sure many of you guys have realized, everyone, in spite of having the Moot world, also has their own personal and professional lives, and it just became too difficult to have this time together to schedule this call. So what we've done is asked Wendy to send us a separate video, which you will see now, where she's going to introduce herself, and you will also see why she joined the Moot Alumni Association. Wendy, off to you.
Congratulations to all the teams. My name is Wendy Gonzalez, and I am Secretary, Board Member of the Moot Alumni Association. I participate as a Mootie myself, and it was one of the best experiences in my life. And that's why I joined the MAA, because I want to be connected to this family and to promote international arbitration.
Thank you very much, Wendy. And now, last but not least, we just wanted to again take this opportunity to say congratulations and good job on a week well done. Good luck for your future endeavors. But the most important thing is, please don't forget that you have made lifelong professional and personal friends. And one way to ensure these relationships is to officially join the Moot Alumni Association on www.maa.net. We've got two types of memberships. We offer a number of opportunities for our members, both paid and premium members. All of these details were given to you in the opening, and they're also available online. Please join us, because according to, again, Dr. Chris Key, we should have over 30,000 members, and right now we only have over 5. So we're trying to reach the correct number. So welcome.
Over 5,000, if I may add. Over 5,000, not over just 5 members, guys. Please join.
5,000, but we should have 30,000. So please help us reach that goal. Welcome to the VIS MOOT family. You are one and forever part of us, and we look forward to meeting all of you in person in Vienna and in Hong Kong, or somewhere in this world.
Okay. It's up for me again. I hope I did not screw up between the video and the closing remarks. Let me just thank you, everybody, for participating, whether as a team, as coach, or as arbitrator. It was for us, despite not being able to see you, an incredible experience, though probably next year we would like to see you. There is this one element missing. And there's a chance to meet us next year, hopefully in Vienna, when we have the 29th VIS MOOT, then under the rules of the Asian International Arbitration Center. But before I close this moot, there's a group of people to which we also owe a big thank. The first one is Birgit Steinkeller, our moot administrator. And without her, it would not have been possible to set that all up. And those who have been at the Vienna moot know that she always stays calm, even in the biggest disasters. And that also happened here. And if you want to know something positive about COVID, without COVID, she would have been running her restaurant in Kitzbühel, and it would have been impossible for us to induce her to spend hours and nights trying to put everything together. So Birgit, thank you very much. We really appreciate the work you do. Great job. And we're looking forward to doing that in person again next year with you. And then there's a group which no one sees, but which also has to be thanked enormously. And this is our families. That is Chris' wife, Anina, with the 3 children who haven't probably seen their daddy for quite some time, or seen their daddy when he was in calls with other ones, and they didn't understand why he was not paying attention to them. That is Patrizia's husband, Florian, and also the 3 children who probably have the same. And that is also my wife and my children. Some of you will have met them virtually, getting emails from them. So for me, it was much easier than for the other ones, because it helped me to get the children from the street, do some really good work. For the younger ones, everyone who has children knows what COVID puts on young families. But nevertheless, we, as the three directors, Patricia, Chris, and myself, we thoroughly enjoyed these 4 days. Or there's 6 days by now. Don't call us in the next few months concerning the moot. But we're looking forward to see you next year for the 29th moot. And with that, I end the official part with referring you to the Moody Blues of Harry Flechtner. Thank to everybody, stay safe and healthy, and I hope to see you next year.
The next song I'd like to do is one that explores the darker side of being a VIS Moody, specifically the way in which all the hard work and all the focus on the moot tends to do a number on your social life. It's called The Moody Blues. Well, I'm a VIS Moody baby. I work that problem day and night. Yes, I am. I'm a VIS Moody baby. Writing memos till dawn's light. Why, I don't ever take no break. That's why the moot gave my social life the blight. Because I'm a VIS Moody baby, I can argue orally. Yes, I am a VIS Moody baby. Got a response for every inquiry. Just do not ask me about my love life, because the moot took that away from me. Well, I am sick of studying substance, CISG coming out my ears. Don't want to hear about procedure, arbitration rules driving me to tears. So if you ask me, should there be online hearings if a party objects to it, I'll suggest joinder of your computer and one of your body parts. One that'll make it difficult for you to sit. Because I'm a VIS Moody baby. I know the rules for a sale. My passport was issued by Vindabona and Danubia. That's where they send my mail. Well, you're a VIS Moody baby. You practice your arguments till you wear out your jaw. Oh, yeah, you do. Because you're a VIS Moody baby, doing research till your eyeballs are raw. Ooh, that's smart. You know you enter nerdvana every time you think about the UNCITRAL modern law. And when you log on for your hearings, all the Moodies you'll see there, they'll all be bright and good-looking, fancy clothes and nice hair, and it'll feel like you haven't had real human contact since stars first started shining in the night skies above. And that's when you'll realize that you're in the mood for love, with proper social distancing, of course. Because you're a VIS Moody baby. You just moot till you're blind. You can't be certain your team will advance, but you sure know your love life has been left behind. Well, we're all VIS Moodies, baby. Come on now, please sing this with me. Come on. We're all VIS Moodies, baby. Come hear what we say. We're all VIS Moodies, baby. One more time. We're all VIS Moodies, baby. VIS all the way. Our personality is taking a beating, and our love life is as dead as a nail. We've all got passport from Vindabona and Danubia. That's where they send our mail.